HubSpot is a CRM, and CRMs are typically built for businesses making money. Maybe they're selling to other businesses or they're selling to consumers, but it's a business selling. So you can see here on your screen, HubSpot is where go-to-market teams go to grow, go to maybe sell, go to scale. There you go. It is a business-focused CRM, which means as a nonprofit organization, you can't use it. Not exactly. What it does mean, though, is this CRM was built with business in mind. So as an example, if I'm a salesperson talking to a potential client, a prospect that I want to sell to, they might, if I'm B2B, they work for a company. And so an employee or a person works for a company. And HubSpot is magical in the sense that when you have that business email, it can create the company and connect that contact to the company. So it associates it to them. A company is probably potentially irrelevant to you and your nonprofit, but maybe that person that you are talking to that is interested in donating or giving or volunteering, maybe they have a home they live in. Maybe it's an apartment, a condo, a house. They might have a household with other members in that. That's not a company. There's no way to take their email, which is probably like Gmail, Hotmail, AOL, Comcast, whatever, and tie it magically to the other people in their house. So in this demo, we're going to talk about an object in HubSpot that you can create as a nonprofit called Household. Make sure that you are associating people to other folks associated to them in their house. So the Household object, here's where we live with that. In CRM, you've got your regular objects, some of your custom objects. Here's your households. This is what it might look like when you have all of your households. Now you see a naming convention here. We've got this CAPCT. This is from L2 data as a demo. So your L2 data may have households that you can associate to folks. And so that's what that might look like. Or if you're doing your own, it might look like this to have their name in it. So our example in the demonstration here, the demo is Moyle Carnes family. And I've got some test stuff in there as well. But here's what that might look like in practice. So I open up this household. I've got on the left-hand side here, the address, their donor category. I've got information. I've got total volunteer time. So this is a roll-up property based on volunteer time over here as an object. So as I'm looking at the people in the household and the volunteer time that they're associated to, those hours get added up right here, 6 and 4 to be 10. Okay. I've got donor information that's coming up again. Things like total giving, hard credit, soft credit, total giving, however you want to call it, that's all being added up into this household. And the idea here is that if I'm talking to a donor and I see that their spouse has also given, maybe they give separately from accounts. Maybe they don't know that, 2 years ago your spouse gave, you're giving this year. We just want to thank you for being an ongoing donor. You might see volunteer hours, right? They have children in the house. Maybe they've got their teenagers are giving through community service at high school or something like that. So we can see based on the household, their location, who's associated to this family or this unit of people, and how their interactions with us are rolling up. So this is what that would look like. Now, if I want to think about how this gets set up, here's part of that conversation. The household itself is a custom object. And so that gets set up. And then you have things like the associations. So when I click on associations here, I can see that I've got households to other objects. So for instance, households to contacts or contacts to households. It's the same thing. I could have association labels for in this household, who is a child, who is a parent. If I'm looking at this as not just households, but maybe it's a church function. So I've got the pastor and other church members. Household can mean more than one thing for you and your nonprofit, but these are the pretty, simple basics here. If I want to have associations reflecting who they are in that household, these are the labels that I can have for that. We call them associations in HubSpot. Another example of that would be if I flip over to contacts. and look at the associations among contacts. So two people, and again, these contacts are the humans. These can be considered constituents or donors or supporters or just people, right? These are the humans that we're working with that are working with us in our nonprofit. Contacts is that object in HubSpot, its name. So if I go here to contacts now and I say, I want to see the associations of contacts to other contacts. Again, an example, parent to child and spouse or partner, right? So this might be two ways that I associate these folks in their connections. So as an example, go back over here to the household and I look up, let's say, for instance, this Sonia Moyle person. Sonia is associated to the household of the Moyle Carnes family, and these contacts of Ashton as a child, Ava as a child, and Daniel as a spouse. So these right here that you see highlighted are the associations. They're the labels of the relationship designation. So that opens up a whole lot of possibilities for you when you think about how people are associated to their household, right? How they're associated to each other. Okay, now let's go back to one more technical side of this here under properties. Now, properties are all of the data points in an object. So if I'm looking at our household properties, I go back over here to the actual record and go back to the Moyle Carnes family household unit. Street address, city, country, state, donor category, all of these are considered properties. They're the data points. So back in the property settings here, we've got 77 properties that we've set up in this demo portal. So for example, I might think about things like total giving or total volunteer time, and these here are roll-ups from a different object. So the deals object, which is where we measure revenue or donation or money or giving or gifts, whatever you want to talk about when it comes to the money side of it, that's what HubSpot calls a deal. So that's what it's called in the business world. But for you, it might be something like a gift or giving or membership maybe. That's all going to be the money. And so total giving, total credit giving, soft credit giving, etc. Volunteer time, that's another custom object, volunteer time. When people are associated, you saw that in the contacts and they're giving their volunteer time. So these are different ways to do that. Now, if I get rid of the search here and just look through the 77 properties, this could include things like, again, address, street address. So apartment number might be a part of that. If you do canvassing, they might be the canvasser owner who on our team is going out to canvass that neighborhood. Language, the census block that they're in. So a lot of information here could be coming actually from things like L2 data, right? So if I look through here and I go deeper into this, we've got the mailing family ID, the mailing city, the mailing address. So if I want to get very specific on mailing address versus maybe billing address or something like that, I can get very direct. So this is how we set up our households. The household, again, is the collection of people at a street address, basically, right? If they're a married couple, if they're spouses, if they have children, if they have roommates, you might have a dorm house full of 10 different students, and they're all university students, but they're roommates. So maybe that's a part of your area as your nonprofit. So that's how we take HubSpot as a business CRM and turn it into a nonprofit CRM. And there you have it. A CRM built for businesses can actually be customized for a nonprofit. It can work wonderfully well in order to help you really bucket your folks together, connect them so that you know who in a household that you're talking to, who in a household is giving of their finances or time or whatever that is. It helps you to organize your data. So when you're ready to talk to someone about that, Nonprofit Tech Shop is here to help. NonprofitTechShop.com is our website. We have a whole team that are folks that are focused on helping nonprofits grow and scale and reach people and grow their impact. That's what we love doing, and HubSpot is our platform of choice for that. You see, you have so many tools at your fingertips that you can probably do this on your own. Okay, it's probably been working for you, but when you're ready to really do it with a little bit of magic sprinkled in, you want to have a platform that is easy to use all the tools that you have integrate them, and have this 360-degree view of your impact on your community. So nonprofittechshop.com. Thanks for watching.